Disaster. Complete and utter disaster. What happened? What happened to Mercedes? Where did Mercedes' performance go? Where did their performance disappear? Where did it go? Lewis Hamilton's speech at the end of the race speaks volumes. Speaks volumes. Singapore, he got a podium. Lewis Hamilton, Singapore. He got another podium in Mexico. Should have been United States, but we know how that works out. Qatar. The car looked like it was getting better. After the USA Grand Prix, TOTO said it's looking good. After the new parts, after the new upgrades we put on the car, they're the same upgrades we're going to be using on next year's car, 2024's car, and it's looking good. Told Sky Sports, you know what, TOTO's like the salesman. Told Sky Sports, he said, you know what, it's looking good. It's looking good. What happened? Nothing happened. Now, I could come out on this video and I could start talking about Formula One. I could start talking about Mercedes and crap like that. But why should I? Why should I? This was a complete and utter crap show. Seriously. You know who I feel sorry for? And I know people are going to go, how can you feel sorry for him? You're a Lewis Hamilton fan. How can you feel sorry for him? You know who I feel sorry for? I feel sorry for George Russell today. He was told basically on the messages you got on the radio, clearly the messages you got on the radio, you're going to stay behind Lewis Hamilton. Now, Lewis Hamilton was clearly struggling with the tyres. He was. See, he was struggling with the tyres. They're going to come out. I don't care how many times I said on the radio that he's just managing his tyres. He was struggling with the car. Lewis Hamilton flat spotted his tyres on the second run. You know, when they had the first lights out of the way we go and there was a red flag and then they called it off and they came back out and I had to start again. The second time they had that start, he flat spotted his front tyre. True talk. He was clearly struggling on them tyres. George Russell was clearly faster. He was faster on the tyres. Remember when I come out on my channel and said, you know I like Lewis Hamilton, you know I like Alonso. But if I need to call something out regarding the Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton, I will. I will call them out. I don't care. I will call them out. Mercedes today, even the pit timing was off. What is it with Mercedes? Why can't they get their pit team to do a 2.5 or a 2.6? There was world champion for so long and they still can't nail 2.5. Why is McLaren's pit time got better and Mercedes hasn't? Why? Mercedes are clearly struggling when it comes to pits. Clearly. They can't get the crap together. Why aren't they dedicating their pit team to train on a daily basis to go over and over again in the pit lane? They lose too much time in the pit lane for my liking. If you're going for a world championship, which ain't going to be for a long time, not by the looks of it, Not after what Lewis Hamilton said on the commentator today. You know what he said on the radio today? What he said on Sky Sports? He said, we're way off. We are way off Red Bull, and Red Bull are going to dominate for the next 2 to 3 years. That's coming straight from Lewis Hamilton's mouth, live and in colour on TV. So if someone's going to come out and do a YouTube channel and say, oh yeah, Mercedes have got a chance to get it next year, they are clearly delusional. And it's not tactics, it's fact. Look where Mercedes finished today. Well, look where one of them finished today, because remember, Russell had to retire the car. Retire. So Russell retired the car, and then Lewis Hamilton was out there in no man's land. I didn't get the strategy what they was doing, because Perez was chasing Lewis Hamilton. Russell was in between them. Russell was there behind Lewis, keeping Perez behind him. So the strategy at the beginning was clear, that they was going to work together. Because Russell came out on the radio and he said, we are going to work together. We're going to work together. So they said, okay, that's fine. That's cool. That's cool. That's the strategy. We're going to work together. So you had Lewis Hamilton not in front. I think he was 5th at this point. Lewis Hamilton was there. Then you had Perez in the middle. Now you had George Russell behind him and Perez behind George Russell. So the strategy was clearly at the beginning. The strategy was there. They were going to keep Perez behind him. As long as Lewis Hamilton could keep his car within DRS with Russell behind him to give Russell that toll, that'll keep Perez behind him. But for some reason, Lewis Hamilton said, you know what? He didn't actually say it, but he just drove off. After about 4 laps, he just drove off. So the strategy was out the window. So basically, when he drove off, that left George Russell naked on his own in the car. Not literally naked, but naked in the car with a Red Bull behind him. So what happened? A lap later, Perez passed George, and then it was after Lewis. It wasn't about 2 laps later, he passed Lewis. So that strategy went out the window. So regarding strategy, there was no strategy. If it did, it failed. Very simple. Very simple. They was absolutely disastrous today, Mercedes. Disastrous. Where's that pace gone? Where's the pace gone? So I'm going to bring him, my co-Q's, my partner in crime. He's the one who does all my videos with me. His name is TOTO. Abba.
Yeah, big up, man.
How you doing, bro?
Not good. It's not been a good weekend for me. We lost to Luton, and now Formula One. I don't know what's going on with Mercedes. All these cars, Aston Martin, Checo Perez's Red Bull, all of a sudden shut up out of nowhere. 5 races, it was down, getting top 10s, and now they're fighting for podiums. Just as it comes to the back end of the season, just as Lewis needs the 2nd place. Perez comes alive and gets a better car. All of a sudden, Red Bull gives him a better car, because they're going for a hat trick. They're going for constructors, drivers on 1 and 2. They're going for a hat trick, man. And you got Aston Martin, all of a sudden, looking at the car that was in the beginning of the season, ever since 2 races ago when they changed to the old concept, and now
Did it work then?
Then it didn't work. Then reverted to the new concept, and then they put on an upgrade, and all of a sudden, they're a different team. They're a different car and a different constructor.
Listen, I get you. Listen, I heard this. Someone put something on Twitter the other day, and he said, and he's a Mercedes fan, but he's a realist as well. He's not a fanboy where anything Mercedes does, he turns it into a positive. He's not one of those. Hopefully that Mercedes sees him online and he gets a job with them working marketing. He's not one of them. He's one of them geezers, a realist. He's like me. He's a realist. He said that Toto Wolff is incompetent. How can you go backwards? You were so fast in Mexico. They were so fast in the USA Grand Prix. That was the 2nd fastest car on the grid. Lewis Hamilton ain't getting 2nd place anymore, so forget it. Lewis Hamilton would have been 2nd place if it wasn't for the team. It's the team what cost him. It's very simple. The team cost him the 2nd place, the 2nd place. 1, they should have told George Russell from day 1, You're the second driver. Lewis is the first driver. If you don't like it, get out. Very simple. Just like Red Bull do. It's all right. Just like Red Bull do. Red Bull do it at the beginning of the season. Max is number 1. You're number 2. Shut your mouth. Stay behind him. If you don't like it, you can leave. Very simple. That's where Mercedes made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether they made a mistake even more, where they should have just had Bottas there a couple more years, then bring in Russell. But they pulled the trigger on Russell because they probably thought that Red Bull was going to go for him or Ferrari was going to go for him. They was never going to go for George Russell.
Thing is,
it's too much of a liability for them because if they bring in George Russell, to Ferrari, he's going to challenge Charles. They don't want to threat to Max Verstappen at Red Bull, so they wouldn't have brought in him. He would have probably ended up going to McLaren. He would have probably ended up going to McLaren for a couple more years, and then Mercedes could poach him down the line. Now, what you've got now, with the problem you've got here now with Mercedes, the two races where Lewis Hamilton scored no points, one because of DNF, that wasn't George Russell's fault, that was the team's fault. That was the team's fault. That's the reason why there was a DNF there with a Mercedes car.
Yeah.
Because if they would have said to Russell, right, Lewis Hamilton's on the soft tyres, you're on the medium tyres, let Lewis go by. If they would have said that to George Russell, clearly you do this when the race starts. Lewis has to be on the best strategy. He's the number 1 driver. If Mercedes would have laid that out for George Russell, I believe they wouldn't have crashed, in my opinion. It's all about management because at the time, TOTO Wolff wasn't there. Remember they had that crash? He came the race after.
Yeah.
And the second time is the flaw. Now, they breached the rules. Very simple. They breached the rules. You can bitch as much as you want. You can bitch as much as you want about what happened. But the team broke the rules.
Yeah.
Very clearly. It states in the rules, they broke them, and that cost Lewis Hamilton more points. So he finished 2 races with 0 points. And you know the thing about it, what makes it even worse? The 2 races where Lewis Hamilton finished with no points, which you could have got 18 points, 18 in 2 races. If he would have finished them 2 races with them points, he would have been in front of Checo Perez. And the 2 races where he finished with no points, Perez finished with no points as well. He finished with no points as well. So Mercedes have cost Lewis Hamilton 2nd place. It's fact. It's there. People say, oh, how did they? They did. Because if the floor was compliant with the rules, Lewis Hamilton would have got the 2nd place. And if they would have told George Russell at the beginning, Lewis Hamilton's behind you with the soft tyres, let him go by, they wouldn't have crashed. Very simple. But because the management wasn't right see, if the management's not right, yeah, and the strategy team's not working on all 4 cylinders, you're going to get things like this. Now, what's happened? The car has gone from being the 2nd fastest car to the 5th fastest. Gasly passed Lewis Hamilton. Ocon, they was just passing him. Easy. What happened, Tim? What happened?
I thought, in qualifying when they were losing position, I thought it was a car problem. I thought, look, it's a one-off car problem. They did good last race. Could know how they ran the race. I thought it was just one-off car problem. But in the race, they showed it. It wasn't a one-off car problem. It was just the way it was. It's unbelievable how Mercedes. I thought they turned it round. I thought they turned it round in the USA.
32 points. Perez is 32 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
See, it's all over.
It's over.
Perez will have to finish with no points next race, which is not going to happen. Because you're going to finish at least in the top 10. Right?
It's over.
Hamilton have lost so much points. Perez getting 15, Hamilton getting 9th, 10th. What's that going to do?
It's over.
People, it's Toto. Toto's got something to do with it. He's the main man. He's the one who sorts them out. He's the big guy. He's the one who puts the driver together, right? We need to stop. The Mercedes fans need to stop making excuses. Because we can make all the excuses once it's happened. It's already happened. The team lineup for starters is all wrong. Hamilton he's used to having a second place driver next to him. Rosberg won a second place driver, but the way Mercedes scored more points when Bottas was there, because Bottas was the second place driver. Russell's a charger. Russell's eager. He's the young driver, young and hungry driver. He doesn't want to be behind. He doesn't want to work together, right? If they did the team orders correctly, maybe they would have scored more points. But Russell's eagerness, Russell's got something to lose as well, right? Because I don't blame him; he wants to be eager. But Russell's eagerness caused all the crashes.
I'm not going to knock George Russell. I'm not going to knock George Russell for trying to beat his teammate.
Look, it's the way it is.
But it's down to management. Management should tell him at the beginning of the season, very simple, George Russell, we know that you're a good driver, but Lewis Hamilton, 8-time world champion, has priority over you. Very simple. If you want to win the title, you have to wait your turn.
Red Bull does this every year. Prioritize their drivers.
Winners.
Categorize them. It's in their contract.
Now, let's get into this race briefly. I'm going to go through it quickly. Race day, Charles lost his hydraulics.
Yeah.
Very simple. On the outlap. Charles Leclerc lost his hydraulics in his car. This was on the formation lap. Charles turned into Usain Bolt. He was running back to that pit lane because he thought he was going to get his car fixed. Got back to the pit lane, failed. Engineer said, "Where you going, bro? It's over." So Charles was out of the race. Norris had a brilliant start at the beginning, in the first turn. I think he jumped to like 3 or 4 places. Norris is showing his stuff lately, man. He's got the car behind him. He's showing his stuff, man. Norris, brilliant starting. There was a disastrous crash at the beginning, caused by Albon, crashed into Magnussen. Magnussen crashed into Oscar Piastri. Basically, Albon causing the crash, and that was 3 cars out. Magnussen gone, Albon gone, Oscar Piastri gone. This was the first time as well that Oscar Piastri raced on his track in a race. All right, he had the sprint the other day, but this was his first race at this track. And to end like that because of Albon's stupidity. Albon's car was in the middle of the 2 cars. It was always going to end in a disaster. There was 3 cars going into a corner where only 2 cars can barely fit. So you knew something was going to happen. His engineer said to him, "Look, we're going to try and fix the car." And they tried the best because of the red flag came out. When it came into the red flag, it failed. Lewis got after the red flag, the red flag came out, and then when they resumed the race, Lewis, they had lights out the way we go. Lewis again didn't have a good start. Flat spotted his tires into turn 1. Flat spotted them, and I believe that's what cost him the time at the beginning. Yeah, flat spotted his, I think it was front rear tire, and that was it. Max was in front. Alonso got Hamilton on the straight. And the first when you got the first DRS on Brazil. After it didn't get it didn't get activated. But Alonso got Lewis Hamilton on the toe. Russell said, "Let's work together," which is normal, yeah. Russell worked together, the thing I'm talking about. So he had Russell behind Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton was giving him the DRS. He had Perez behind Russell. Russell said, "Come on, help us out. Let's work together." So I thought, yeah, it was working. It was working for about 5-6 laps. Then Lewis decided to just drive off on his own. What did you think about that when Lewis would drive off? Do you believe you can understand what you reckon?
Of course, Luke. Look, what I think about it's a wrong decision. Simple as run this. I don't know what Lewis was doing because he can drive off as much as you want, but Perez is going to catch you. Russell was there as a shield to protect Lewis. Because Russell, they were towing each other. It was like a big DRS train.
Yeah.
It was a DRS train, and that was helping Lewis. Yeah. Lewis could have easily pulled off. There's no doubt about that.
It should have worked together.
Easily pulled off from Russell. But as soon as he pulled off, Perez got Russell. Then Russell was compromised, and he got passed by the Alpine. And then Russell was just losing position.
Yeah.
And then Hamilton straight after.
I don't know why Hamilton drove off. It should have worked together.
It wasn't the wrong decision. And then Mercedes came on the radio and says, "We're still discussing." When Russell has just got passed.
Russell. No. Russell didn't get passed. Basically, Hamilton.
He got passed by Checo.
Yeah. And then he said, and then he got back. Yeah, you're right. And then they said, we're still discussing. You know, that what discussing means we don't care.
Yeah.
That's what you're on your own. You're on your own. And I thought that was a bit out of order. I know people are going to say, "Oh, yeah, but Russell done that with him before with Lewis Hamilton. He took these he's took his thing into his own hands. I get it. But Lewis was clearly struggling on them tyres. He was clearly struggling on the tyres, and I think the best strategy was to work together to keep Checo Perez behind him, and just until they pitted. Keep him behind him. Lewis can pit, and Russell could stay out a little bit longer, hold up Perez, then he can come in for the pits, and that would have been a good strategy. But Lewis, for some reason, didn't stick to that strategy, and he just drove off, which I thought was a bit out of order, in my opinion. So, lap 14, Perez passes Russell, like we just discussed. Engineer said to Russell, like he just said, Lap 19, Lewis pits, puts the medium tyres on, and straight after lap 20, Russell pits in, put the medium tyres on. Russell said on the radio. I think Russell said on the radio, we can clearly see what's going on here, because he was talking about the speed and he started laughing. Remember that one when he started laughing?
Yeah.
No, that laugh was that he took the turn because he knows it's over. Remember when he started laughing? Anyway.
Yeah.
So at this point, obviously Mercedes was probably going for a free stopper, which is the sensible choice. I thought they should have stayed out a bit longer on them tyres and try to go for a one stop, or go for a two stop, not a free stop, because at this point it was going for a free stop, because you could tell when they pitted on the laps they did at lap 19. As soon as they came in lap 19, they knew it was going to be a free stopper. But again, Lewis Hamilton, when he came out not being decided, he said, I don't think we should have went on a hard. Pointless saying that now when you've already come out and you've done the two stopper. Pointless coming out and saying, we should have done the hard tyres. What he should have said on the radio is, look, Bono, I want to go for these. I think I could go on a bit longer on these stints. Let's go for a two-stopper. But they never. That's the one thing I say about Hamilton's his weakness. He relies too much on Bono. Russell don't. Russell is a kind of person, he thinks like an old-school driver. He feels like in the car, and he feels like the tyres are going good, he's going to go that way. But with Lewis Hamilton, he relies too much on Bono. That's just in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it's true, man. Like commentator, I can always refer back to Ayrton Senna when he drove. If he didn't feel big up, man. If Ayrton Senna didn't feel like the team is making the right strategy for him, he'll turn the radio off.
Yeah,
he did it before. He'll turn the radio off, do his own race, and if he feels like in the car, if he's slipping a lot and the tyres are going, he'll go on himself and tire the team. Yeah. He's a dictator. He dictates, right? Ayrton Senna was a dictator.
I know. So was you.
He was telling the team when to pit. That's what kind of Russell's like. He pits when he wants.
That's the old school mentality. If you feel like you're in the car now, you got all these data today. You got all these data. It's a data-driven sport.
That can always fail.
We know it's a data-driven sport. Everything's run by data. This is what they rely on 99% of the time. But you're in the car. You can feel the car. If you feel like you can go a bit longer and you feel like you got more grip in it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And I believe this whole weekend, look, I remember putting on Twitter. I put on Twitter, right? Let me see if I can get my tweet up in a minute. I'm gonna actually show you the tweet that I put. I was talking to one of my friends on here we go. I put this tweet up. Let's put this pretty up. I'm gonna actually put the tweet up. Yeah. This is the tweet I put up, right? This is what Lewis Hamilton said at the beginning of the weekend, right? This is what he said at the beginning of the weekend. Ready? Lewis Hamilton has no plans to end the 2023 without a victory. That from Sky Sports F1. Lewis Hamilton said, "I came away empty-handed last year. I don't plan on that this year," right? And my friend Mr. Lawrence said he was better off saying nothing. Words have a habit of coming back to bite you. I responded, "Yep, silence is deadly." And Mr. Lawrence says he should know better. He should know better not to say nothing. Straight away, what we're trying to say is that was a disaster straight away. That was putting bad luck. As soon as he's done that interview, as soon as Lewis Hamilton done that interview, yeah, right, for some reason, his weekend went to crap. The practice weren't that good. The sprint race wasn't that good. It's like he put a curse on himself.
Yeah. You
say that talk at the end of the weekend. At the end of the weekend, when you're done race, then you say crap like that. And if you win, you can turn around and say, I don't plan on coming away empty-handed unless is why I won the race. Not saying it at the beginning before you got in the car. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go on then.
Yeah, overall, I think about the weekend.
I talk about the week. No. I missed the last part of the race. You said that you tweet me about the Alonso. Tell me about the Alonso battle, man, because I
Yeah, it
tapped
was a
out.
really, really
Tell
good
me about
battle.
what happened because I tapped
Really,
out at
really
the
good
end.
battle. Perez was, of course, catching up Alonso, and then there was trading positions. But the thing is, what Alonso did was so clever. He always stayed in Perez's DRS zone because he knew, right, when it came to that after that center S's, he stayed behind him because Perez got him in the center S's, got him down the inside. It was a really good move. And then Alonso let him go past him and then got the DRS detection zone because, of course, if you're behind the DRS detection zone, and in the DRS range, you get DRS, obviously. Then Alonso had this all happened the last lap. Alonso got the DRS, right, and passed him on that straight after the center S's. And it was all going and going. Alonso defended his position. When it came to the last corner, Alonso had a really, really good exit and built himself a gap. But Perez had DRS on the main straight, and he was so close to passing him. It was alongside. It was just about alongside. But Alonso just went ahead at the end. Just went ahead, and it was such a good battle. It was the best battle of the race, and this is what I mean. You know what? A lot of Lewis Hamilton fans hate Alonso. I don't mind Alonso. Alonso had a good race.
I don't care what they think.
Alonso had a wicked race, man. I respect what he's done.
Yeah, but they can't because they're just ignorant.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put up the final results. This is the race results. That's what I'm saying. Alonso battle grit. Alonso is a grit merchant. That's what I call him. Let me just get this banner off so we can go through what happened. So
Mercedes got beaten by 2 of the customers. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but 3 cut. Yeah, if you look, let's have a look at the race results there. So we've got the race result. Let me see if I can make these bigger.
Yeah, man, it's just a disgrace for Mercedes.
So we've got Max Verstappen won by nearly 9 seconds. So you got Max Verstappen number 1, Lando 2, Fernando Alonso 3. Got that podium, man. All them people were hating on Alonso. All these Lewis fans were hating on Alonso, hating on Alonso. Said, he said he's never going to get a podium again. And that they was all saying that at the beginning of the season when he got that podium, he says, this ain't going to be the last time I got a podium. And he never got a podium for about 8-9 races or maybe longer. And all these Lewis Hamilton haters were coming out and saying, I bet Alonso feels stupid now. This was last week. He said, I bet Alonso feels stupid now. He went through the whole season. He said at the beginning of the season, right, when he went, I think he comes second or third in one of the races at the first half of the season. He said, this won't be the last time I get a podium. And because last week he retired on his race, he had to retire the car. They come out and says, I bet Alonso feels stupid now because he said he was going to win more races and get more podiums, and he knows he's never going to get a podium this year. They literally come out and said that he will never get a podium this year, right? He literally said that. And now he's got a podium. Now what? What are you going to say now? He's got a podium now, Alonso. All the haters that hated Alonso said he was never going to get a podium this remaining season. He's just got one. So there you go. Max Verstappen 1, 2, Lando Norris 3, Fernando Alonso 4, Sergio Perez 5th place, Lance Stroll 6th place, Carlos Sainz 6th place, Carlos Sainz 7th place, Pierre Gasly 8th place, Lewis Hamilton, disaster, 62 seconds from the top. 9th place, Yuki Tsunoda. 10th place, Esteban Ocon. 11th place, Logan Sargent. 12th place, Nico Hulkenberg. 13th place, Ricardo. 14th place, Ocon Piastri. And the rest all DNS. Russell, Valtteri, Zhou, Juan Yu Zhou, Kevin Magnussen, Alexander Albon, and Charles Leclerc. Let's look at the drivers. Max Verstappen, world champion. Fake. Perez got this. I think he's got Perez. He's got the 2nd place now, and Lewis Hamilton 3rd, and Fernando Alonso 4th, and that's it. That's the points here. You can always get this on the website, and that's it, man. There's the team constructors. Mercedes better watch the back because Ferrari is right on their tail. 362 to 382. That's catchable. Very catchable. So, I'm going to be heading off now. Toto Hammer, anything to say before we leave, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna say go follow to my Twitter, posting relevant stuff about sim racing, football, and all that. Subscribe to my YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to my Twitch, and yeah, that's all I got to say, man.
That's it. What a weekend we've had since Friday. On Friday, we've done 2 videos on Friday. No, 3 videos on Friday. 4 videos on Saturday. 4 videos. Jesus, we've done 4, 8, 6. We've done 12 videos this weekend. 12 videos. All we want is the like buttons, guys. Show the respect, man. You know what I mean? Show the respect. Big up, guys. And that's it.
Yeah, big up, man.
We just put the banner up, man. Have a good weekend, boy. We're back tomorrow for the Premier League wrap-up show. Liverpool. Disaster. See you later. Big up.